Okay, you guys, so I'm back. It's kind of dark in here. Benjamin, quiet please. We're doing a video right now. So, you guys are probably still looking at my new hair, trying to figure out if you like it or not. Whatever. So anyways, I was going to talk today about making shoes. Benjamin, seriously. Okay, so I'm like a total shoe freak, and part of the problem I have is I have really wide feet, and like a lot of people have wide feet, but when most American shoe designers, it's not a big problem because they make their shoes wider for some reason. And designer shoes, when you get to designer shoes and shoes that are like European or Italian made, oh my god, they get so narrow. So like I have a wide foot. Like, I wish I could cut off one of my toes. That's like how bad it is. Like, it's just horrible. It's horrible having wide feet and wanting to wear pretty shoes. It just is. But I have a narrow heel and a really high, like, I don't know what it's called, like, the part on the top of your foot, like, I'm not trying to do some weird foot fetish thing here, guys, but like, okay, so like, let's pretend this is my foot. I have like a really high, like, I don't know, is this your instep or something? No, this would be your instep. So like, my arch is high, but also this top part of my foot is high. I have a small heel and a really wide toe. So toes, like your toe box in the shoe would need to be really wide. So like, I'm gonna just use this shoe for example because it's what I'm gonna talk about shoe stretching here in a little bit. But like, this is a Sam Edelman, and he makes really wide shoes. I've never had a problem putting these shoes on. So you can see they're just, this is like a normal width on an American shoe. But, okay, so I bought these. You guys are gonna be like, what the heck was she thinking? These I'm having a problem with, but I've been stretching them myself. These are my new Christian Louboutins in shocking pink. They are the Pigalle Follies. Now, I was thinking with the Pigalle Follies, they would be just like my décolletés or my Yiddish shoes. Well, the Yiddish ones are really narrow. But the problem, besides these being Christian Louboutin, and these are a little stretched out, these were like, when I got them. Besides these being terribly narrow, the toe box in these shoes is like, oh my god, it's so short. It's like a little midget size shoe. So I've been stretching these myself. Now, I decided to invest in a shoe stretcher. Not really that expensive, but if you go to your shoe repair store, which you should visit them regularly if you have nice shoes and you want to keep them looking good and you want to protect shoes from being destroyed, like if you wear a pair of boots all the time, you should probably be going in once a year or once every 2 years and getting new caps put on them, or maybe even having them resoled if it's a nice pair of boots. I've had these, I've had these boots, I haven't had these resoled, but I've had these reheeled a couple times. These are Gianni Bernini, and they're just like super soft, nice leather, and I don't fit in these anymore, unfortunately, because I've lost weight, but I loved these boots and I wore them a lot, so I wanted to protect this heel from getting all messed up. So, you know, the cost of just having a new heel put on can sometimes preserve a shoe and keep it wonderful. So, anyways, I was able to stretch these shoes out and make them pretty well wearable by using a shoe stretcher myself. Because you can shoe stretch at a shoe repair store all day long if you want. They'll keep them for like a week though, and you're kind of like, you're out of those pair of shoes if you wanted to wear them on the spur of the moment. And they charge about, I don't know, $10 and up just to stretch your shoes. So you can save a lot of money just by investing in something like this. And this is called the KevenAnna, I think. I'll try to put a little link. You can get these on Amazon, you can get them on eBay, and I'll take these little things off so you can get an idea. These are just for stretching high heel shoes. These only stretch heels, these do not stretch flat shoes, and since most of my shoes are heels, this works for me. They do not come with instructions, I will tell you that much. When you get these in the mail, you will get You will get 2 of these funny pink things with these hooks. You can hang them up, you know, like in your closet so your cats don't chew on your shoes while you're stretching them. And they come with all these little black goodies. So I'll show you what comes in them. They come with 2 of these, like so. Like they look like black potato chips. And then they come with these little things, and they call these like these are like stretching, like if you have corns or like no, I lost one, or knots or something in the sides of your foot, whatever. But I will show you a trick that I use to figure out how to stretch these shoes, because stretching them just in the width was not working to make room for my big fat toes, okay? Not they're fat, but like, you know, they take up a room in this toe box that these shoes were just not made for. So I will show you what you do with the weird black potato chip things. Those things go into the heel of the shoe, like so. And I'll get rid of my little things. Alright, so you get your little shoe thing out. You slide it. There is no left or right of these, they're the same. You slide this into the front of the shoe, and then you put the heel in. I would lift and then slide the heel in into where that this black thing really protects the back of the shoe and helps make this part work. So by twisting this part right here, you are making the heel go out. So if I turn it to the right, I'm making the heel tighter. So that's going to stretch your shoe lengthwise. I don't need to stretch them lengthwise. The shoe fits fine lengthwise. What I want to do is open up this part of the width of the shoe. So I turn this, let's see, is it counterclockwise? I turn it counterclockwise, and that starts opening up. I will show you on this one. That starts, oh no, it's not counterclockwise, it's clockwise. It's clockwise. If you turn it clockwise, you will notice that the toes are starting to spread apart the more I turn this. So when you put this into the shoe, it's spreading out the width. Now, you can hang these up in your closet, or like I do, I put them on the rungs on the top of my bed, and I can hang up the shoe. So you would keep this like this, slowly stretching these shoes, and you would be careful. Be careful with patent leather, because if you stretch too much, too fast, you could damage the look of the patent leather. I would be less worried if these were just like a regular matte calf leather, but on the patent leather, I'd be a little more careful. And if you don't want to stretch them lengthwise at all, you can just choose not to tighten this back part up. Benjamin, you're touching my tripod, stop. So what I found was stretching them this way was not enough for stretching it out for my wide foot. I needed to make room for my toes specifically, like my big toe needed to poke out a little bit here, my little toe needed to poke out a little bit here. So I used those little corn stretchers in these holes on either side of the foot here. So I did one up on the very front for my big toe, and then on this side I did one in the second hole for my little toe. And oops, we don't want to do it in this shoe, because remember, this is my big toe, so if I stick it in this shoe, that'll be stretching in the wrong place. I need to do it on the other shoe. So I will put it in the correct foot, and I would close it up all the way before putting it into the shoe. Put it in there, get them just where you want it. It's going to look funny, right? It's going to look funny and look like it's stretching them badly, but if you have big feet, you're going to need to do this to get into a pair of Louboutins. Louboutins are tiny little shoes, okay? These shoes, like I said, do not need to be stretched this way, so you can still put this into the shoe to keep it taut, but I would not recommend tightening this. I would loosen this all the way up so that it's just in there. and just stretch the front of the shoe with this. So yeah, it's gonna look jacked up. If you look up closely at look, I mean, it's like sticking out here, but that's how big my feet are. Like, they were not thinking about me when they made Louboutins, okay? They just were not. So, let's see. Am I even turning this the right way? So, I'll show you. It looks funky. It looks like I'm screwing up these shoes big time, but I'm telling you, if you want to fit into these shoes, you gotta do something crazy like this. When I take this out of here, it's not gonna look as extreme as this, but my big ass feet are going to fit in these Louboutins. Just no joke, because these shoes are just too beautiful for me to be like, oh, my feet are too big to fit into them. Too bad. I'm gonna fit into a pair of Christian Louboutins if it even makes the shoe look a little weird, okay? Now, make sure you're doing this right. I would not take a brand new pair of $600, $700 shoes and just start stretching away. Start small and then work up to something like this, because you might have to do barely any stretching at all, and I would recommend doing it without these black things first. Just put it on for like 3 or 4 days, just like this, into the shoe, stretch it like a half an inch, not a half an inch, but like a 1/4 inch in here, and just work little by little to see how much you need to stretch the shoe. I mean, you're not like a shoe genius, okay, like the people at the cobblers, so you need to just see how much you're stretching and how far you need to go. Keep trying on the shoes every 3 days or 2 days and see, because it takes a few days of these just, you know, hanging them up and letting them sit like that. Now, you can buy a spray-on shoe stretcher. It kind of makes the leather more supple when it gets wet in this chemical, and it helps to stretch the leather. I would not recommend using that though on these fancy colored patent leathers. I just don't trust that. I don't trust that product on shoes this expensive. So I'm just gonna do it the natural way and try stretching them myself. Now, there are things that I do to some of my shoes that are less invasive like this. If you're buying a shoe maybe a little bit bigger to accommodate your wider foot, or your feet are small, or you have 2 feet that are different sizes. I have one foot that is seriously a 7.5 and the other one is actually an 8, but I buy 7.5 shoes. So one's always a little bit bigger, or one's slipping out, or my heels because they're small. You know, I got foot problems, people. I got foot problems. So here's a product I buy all the time. Not necessarily this brand, but they always look like this. They're like kind of a foamy rubber. They're like squishy, and I love these. These are the best ones. They're in almost every pair of shoes I own. It's except for the more expensive shoes. I don't like putting sticky things in them because they just they mess up the back of the heel when they finally come off. I end up replacing them, but whatever. So these are really nice, and a lot of brands carry these same looking ones. These are the ones I like to put. I have these in like every flat pair of shoes I own, every one. Because my feet just do not stay in shoes, except for like Nikes and Adidas. You don't really need them in those. Those fit pretty well, but like, okay, like little flat shoes like this, I always have a pair in. Now these I don't like. These were by Dr. Scholl's, and I don't even know what they were thinking when they made these. They're like fabric, they're shiny and silky. And I remember when I bought this package, it had a little hole in the package so you could touch it and be like, oh, it's so shiny and soft. Okay, well, I'll tell you why these suck. They came in this package with this colored, it's like a plaid. And they're soft and they're silky, and yeah, they feel nice when you're just standing there. They're like, oh, that's nice. But when you start walking in this shiny, silky, satiny material, your foot slips. And it keeps rubbing and rubbing and rubbing on that silky material. It doesn't feel good, and it normally gives me kind of a blister. It's like these are like the anti-blister thing, but they give me a blister. I don't like them. I will deal with it in these shoes because I just stuck them on there, and I don't want to like peel them off, ew. But like, I will never use these again, never. They have ones that are like this clear gel, and I like those okay. They're kind of the same shape normally as this. These are for like in little slingbacks or high. Benjamin, for love's sake. So I don't really like the gel ones. Again, they kind of have a weird feeling on the back of my heel and will give you blisters if they're not really tight. So definitely stick with the foam ones if you want the best comfort fit. They feel like rubber, but they will not let your foot slide at all in a pair of shoes. Now, when I was at Christian Louboutin, when we were in Paris, the guy gave me these. And I've seen these in the store before, but never thought to buy them. I thought they were just to make the inside of a heel comfortable. Let's see, is this the wrong side? I thought they were just to make the heel comfortable because you are putting the ball of your foot on them for the most part into the shoe. But you know what else they do? They also push your foot up a little bit into the back of the shoe. So in these really high heels, as you're wearing them, your foot is sliding down into the shoe, crushing your feet into the toe, or your toes into the toe box. And these give you a little lift so your foot does not slide down into the shoe. These are amazing. I'm going to wear these in every pair of my Louboutins when I wear them because they make them so comfortable. Not only are you giving the ball of your foot a little relief, you are also lifting the foot, and it doesn't allow the foot to slide because there's such a textured, thick rubber. Your foot cannot slide down into the shoe, and then you have that slipping heel all night. It doesn't really happen with these. And you can move these from shoe to shoe. They don't stick into the shoe. You just simply set them in there, and then you slide your foot on top of them, and the gel doesn't allow them to move around. So really nice. These are a godsend, and so are these. And let's see. I'm going to talk a little bit more about these KevenAnna shoe stretchers. Like I said, these are only for heels because of the way that this heel is set and the foot is, as you can see, up at an angle. You can buy flat ones of these for your flat shoes and stretching, but I just wanted to stick to high heels right now because I'm a heel girl. Now, do these work on a shoe that does not have a heel in the back? Yes, they do. That's why I brought these out, because this is one of the only shoes I own that doesn't have a heel. I don't really like having just my heel exposed. Kind of weird. I like feeling, I like the feel of the heel on the back. Unless they're slingbacks, that's different. So anyways, you can totally stretch these. I mean, this will just be loose. You won't be doing anything. But once you have them tightened properly, you can still hang the shoe up. And you'll have no problems there. They stretch just fine that way. Do they work on boots? Yes, these work on high-heeled boots as long as there is a zipper on the side, you guys. So I was able to slide these in just fine into these Gianni Berninis and open up the toe and let these stretch a little. That will work just fine, even though these don't need to be stretched. Now, do they work on boots that don't have zippers? Now, that's a good question because I have a pair of Stuart Weitzman boots. These are the quilted 50/50s, and they are quite narrow on me. They're so narrow. Okay, these are a beautiful shoe. Yes, everything Stuart Weitzman is super narrow. The calves are narrow, the shoe's narrow, but they're Stuart Weitzman. I mean, come on. I can't live without that. So I tried rolling these down, and I would hate to leave these for days rolled down because this beautiful quilted leather would probably crease pretty nastily. But I still wanted to give it a try because last time I wore these, oh my god, one of my toes went numb. They were so tight. But after rolling these down, and I hate doing this to this leather, the leather is so nice in these Weitzmans, but I tried, you guys, and I tried shoving this thing down in there, but I just couldn't get, I mean, I could get it down in there, but it didn't look right. So if you're super talented and you have all the shit time in the world to do this, maybe, but I don't, and I just could not get it in there. Maybe it's because I have a small foot. I don't know. I was able to get the one end in there, but then it was just hanging there. I don't recommend it. I would not recommend buying a pair of Weitzmans knowing you need to stretch them and buying these because they're not going to work together. These work a lot better in shoes that you have full access to the insides. So don't ruin your Weitzmans trying to stretch them that way. I don't know if a real shoe place could do that for me. I could ask, but that's another errand that I'm not going to run today. So anyways, I just wanted to show you that. I wanted to show a little congratulations for being able to get these silly shoes on my feet now, because they're just too adorable not to be able to wear. And now I can perfectly, look, I can actually get my wide foot into this shoe, and I fixed it all by myself, you guys. And so I'm really proud of myself for that. Yeah, stretched my own shoes, cut my own hair, did my own brows. I have just got it going on, you guys. Anyways, so if you liked any of the information that you received in this video, please like the video. If you haven't subscribed to me already and you like hanging out with me, you should subscribe to my channel. And if you have Facebook and you hang out on Facebook a lot, you should search for me at Sasha Hartleb, and that will bring up my public figure page. Make sure to like that one. And so we'll get to spend some more time together, you know, that sort of thing. So thanks for watching, and we'll talk about all kinds of stuff later. Thanks, guys. Bye.